Hello. Today, let's talk about kingdom peace. Kingdom peace. See, the Bible tells us that Jesus, our King, that in Isaiah, the ninth chapter, verse 6, said that one of his titles is called the Prince of Peace. The reason why he's known as the Prince of Peace is because that word peace, meaning shalom, nothing lacking, nothing missing, nothing broken. The government that he brung upon his shoulders, it was a government that was meant to take care of all its citizens so that he, our king, would bring peace. So he says, his peace, this is Jesus speaking, in John the 14th chapter. John the 14th chapter says, he gives us his peace. Who is us? Us are the heavenly citizens that are entitled to all the rights and privileges, who share the commonwealth with our King. He says, because Jesus, our King, is also our elder brother. Notice that he's our King, and Peter says it like this: and ye are that in the household of faith. So he's our King and our elder brother. He gives us his peace. In John the 14th chapter, it says, his peace he distinguished it from the world. See, his peace passeth all understanding. Why? I want to focus on that. The why is because there's nothing broken, there's nothing lacking in him. You have peace. See, the world is worried about how they're going to be taken care of, what they're going to eat, what they're going to wear, what they're going to do about problems, and it causes a lot of stress. Hence the word he says, I give you my peace. See, because he is a representation of a government that supplies all of your needs. He's telling you, don't worry like they do. Matthew, the 6th chapter, he says, it's the pagans, meaning those that are without a God, those who do not have access to the Prince of Peace. He says, they are the ones that are worrying. I don't want you to worry. That is great news. That is a great message that we are entitled to the privileges and we have access to the Prince of Peace. Now, that comes with this understanding. In order to be under his government, meaning under his domain, under his rulership, then we also have to live by his rules. So, in that Matthew, the 6th chapter, seek me first and my righteousness, be in compliance with my rules. He literally says, there's no good thing I will not give unto you. So, we serve a king who is also known as the Prince of Peace. He gives that peace unto us. When Adam failed, one of his punishments was he had to work the ground. And then by working the ground and to sweat like he would have to do, he was under a curse. Adam had to endure the curse of poverty. He went from having no stress because he was under this kingship to now he had stress. But here's the great news for you. The Bible says that when Jesus came and he took upon every curse, Colossians says, everything that was contrary to us, he took it away. He no longer wants you to be under the curse of poverty, under the curse of lack, under the curse of brokenness, and to subscribe to that culture. Notice how there are some people who are free. They're no longer bound, but their mind is not. Their mind is not. So even for example, you take an animal, you train that animal um, that they cannot go beyond a certain border. You put an electric fence up, and they get a shock when they reach that border. At some point, even when that fence is gone, they still have that mentality. So Jesus says, you are free. You are no longer a slave to sin. You are no longer under the curse. So even though you're free, also be free from that mentality. Stop thinking like the world thinks. So we have the Prince of Peace. We are under his rulership. In Matthew, the 10th chapter, I want to give you this. This is such great news, this gospel message, that it makes you want to share it with others. Here's what Jesus said to his disciples in Matthew, the 10th chapter. He says that when you go out, we are all ambassadors of this heavenly kingdom, bringing heaven's culture to earth. When you go out and you tell others about this good news, give them your peace. What peace? As a heavenly citizen, I serve the Prince of Peace, and so I have no worry, I have no lack. Give them your peace. Let them know that they too can be free from the curse, the distress of sin. When sin is still your choice, when you are still a slave to sin, there are curses that comes with that. Because we have his peace, we are no longer under that curse. He says, when you give them that peace, how do you give it to them? Because you are a representation of the kingdom. He wants you to be so blessed that people look at your life, and your life alone compels people to want to know, who is your God? What king do you serve? Give them your peace. The Bible says, if they do not accept your peace, this is in Matthew the 10th chapter, then take it with you. He says later on in that same chapter, shake the dust off your feet. I see oftentimes people who are passionate about God, they find themselves in conversations where they're arguing. No. Take your peace with you. Verse 16, he says, be as wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. See, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they wanted to argue religion. As kingdom citizens, we don't argue. We serve a king. In fact, Peter says it like this in 1 Peter 2:8. It says that Jesus is our chief cornerstone, and they rejected him. So when they reject the message, there's only one message, that is the kingdom of God. When they reject the message, know that they rejected the chief cornerstone. You who accept the message, 1 Peter 2nd chapter tells us that you are a royal nation of priests and kings. See, as a priest, you have the benefit of not only making sure that you're in right standing and right relationship with the king, but interceding on behalf of others. So our fight is not with people. When they don't accept this message, you shake the dust off your feet. You be wise and gentle, because the message is very compelling. There was a select group of people who were not ready to receive Jesus, took offense with him and his message. Notice that in the book of Acts, many of those same people, who were religious people, by the way, many of those same people, Peter, the same Peter who wanted to fight these folks, it's that same Peter who delivered this gospel message. And a lot of those same people gave their lives to Christ. I encourage you today. Represent the kingdom, but don't argue religion. We serve a king. You have the benefit of being a representative of the Prince of Peace. May your life be an example of what it can look like when you make Jesus the king. We don't help a king. A king word is law. He does not need our help. When we follow his law, we have the benefit, the privileges of living according to his commonwealth. He wants great things for you. You no longer have to live as somebody who does not know God, who has stress and worry. Your king is the Prince of Peace. There's nothing missing with him, and he gave that unto you. When you deliver that message to others, remember, we as heavenly citizens, we don't argue with folks. Wise, gentle, shake the dust off. This message is compelling. People will know you are citizens of this kingdom by the way you love, by the way that you live. God bless.